If you come down onto your back, place your feet wide on the mat with your knees bent. And bring your hands onto your belly, and we'll just take 3 nice, slow, deep breaths. Feel your belly rise into your hands. And exhale, fall away from the hands, drop toward the ground. Couple more like that. Following the flow of your breath. Settling in your body. One more. Keep your feet wide. The toes are very, very slightly turned out. Arms down by your side. And lift the tailbone and begin rolling your spine up into a low level bridge. So don't come up too high to begin with. You're not pressing too much with your hips. And then to get higher, start to roll further back over your shoulders. So your arms walk closer to your feet. Your chest lifts a little higher. You roll further back on the shoulders. And as a result of that, the hips will lift, but not because you pressed a lot harder through your legs. The angle of the rib cage carried the spine, which carried the pelvis. And now try and balance evenly through the back of your shoulders and through your feet, so that you can almost feel you've got 4 main points of balance: the back of the shoulders and the soles of your feet. And even those 4 points out the best you can for another breath. Then take 1 more inhale, and when you exhale, roll your spine back down. We'll take a little twist. So if you move your bottom slightly off to the right, 1 inch or so, straighten your left leg out down the mat, and your left hand's going to catch hold of your bent right knee and take the knee across to the left, and turn your head, look to your right arm. In this twist, try and send your right hip up and over the left hip, like your right hip is trying to reach toward the right knee. At the same time, be heavy in your right shoulder, heavy in your right ear. And remember this shape, because we'll be doing this shape when we're standing in a balance. Come all the way back in with your inhale, and then place both feet flat to the floor so you can move your bottom back to the middle of the mat and slightly off to the left. Right leg straight, bring the left knee in, and you're taking it across the body. Look out to your left arm this time. Right hand is guiding the knee, and you want to feel the left hip trying to lift up and over the right hip, like the left hip is trying to reach toward the left knee. Straighten your right leg, the straight leg, as firmly as you can, so the right thigh bone feels like it's pushing into the back of the right leg, and the foot flexes, the leg activates, just like you would be if you were balancing on that leg. And then bring it all the way back in with an inhale. Exhale, both feet flat to the floor. Bring your bottom back into the middle of the mat. Lift your head and shoulders. Hover your arms off the ground. Hug the belly in, and then lift your right knee. And see if you can either lift the left heel off the floor or straighten your left leg out and hold it there with a balance. Sorry, with the core work, and keep the legs balanced. And if you can straighten your top leg up toward the ceiling. If not, just keep it bent. 2 more breaths. Waist is drawing down, back of the chest is lifting up. Place both feet back down onto the floor. Give your head a moment to rest. On an exhale, lift your head, shoulders and arms again. Left knee comes up 90 degrees. Right leg, either just the heel off the floor for a lighter option, or straighten the leg out for a stronger option. And then you can go another step further and straighten the left leg up toward the ceiling. If you straighten your left leg, but it ends up being miles away from you like that, you're best staying in a bent leg version. Try and keep the leg vertical. Another breath. This time, both knees into your chest and head to the floor. And then holding onto your legs, you can rock on your spine. Come round to hands and knees.
Because we're going to do standing up.
And then just do 1 threading of the needle with your right arm, lift it up wide. And then thread your right arm all the way through. So you're going to land on your right shoulder, your right ear. And this time, instead of reaching your left arm out in front of you, like we often do, keep your left fingertips on the floor and lift the elbow and try and look underneath your arm a bit more. Get a bit further under with your right shoulder. Stay like that, or bring the left hand around behind the right hip or round to the outside of the right hip. You might even get your fingers round into the hip crease. Some of you might even be able to hold your inner thigh. That's because I've got a little back and long arm. Couple more breaths there. Then bring your fingers back to the floor again. Press into the left hand, come up. Left arm opens this time with an inhale wide. Exhale, thread your left arm all the way through. So you can land on the shoulder and your ear, or you can go a little bit further. Stay with your right fingers on the floor. Or bring your right hand up and behind to the outside of your left hip, maybe into the left hip crease. Rolling the right shoulder back a bit more. And then undo that arm, hands back to the floor, press back to hands and knees and come to a downward facing dog. Spread your fingers and lift and lower your heels a few times to open into the back of the legs. Feel your heels don't have to touch the floor, but they're stretching away from the balls of your feet, stretching out the soles of your feet with each up and down. And then we're going to walk our feet all the way up toward the hands. So you're more up at the top end of your mat. Feet are hip distance apart. Bend your knees a lot and bring your fingers out slightly in front of your feet and try and flatten your back. Lower your bottom down so you can feel that you're getting some more strength in your legs. Grip the ground through the four corners of your feet like you did when you were in the bridge. You want to feel you've got the inner and outer ball of the foot and then the inner and outer heel, and balance between those four corners, those 4 points. Squeeze the legs slightly right up to your sit bones. Bring your hands onto your hips. Lift the chest slightly. Keep the legs squeezing and engaged. Draw the shin bones back slightly. Bring your hands to a prayer position. And then try extending your arms in front. The hips might draw back slightly further, but keep squeezing through the leg muscles. And then as your arms come up, push all the way up to standing. Reach your arms up high, hold on to opposite elbows, take a little side bend towards your right. Keep weight in both feet. When you come to center, switch forearms in front and then over toward the left. And keep your head even between your upper arm bones. And then back up to center. And then you're coming back into the chair position. So arms go in front, sit your hips back. Hands into a prayer, bend forwards. And this time put your hands around your calves. So you're going to pull your body in towards your legs. And then either fingertips on the floor or hands on your shins and try and flatten your back out. Take a step back with your right leg and keep the heel off the ground, but make it a nice long stride. Squeeze the muscles of your legs. So you're in your legs, you're balanced in your legs, and bring your arms all the way up, high lunge. In your high lunge, lift and lower the back heel a few times. So you're pushing up with the back heel and down with the back heel. Try and keep the front knee bent. One more time. Okay, the heel goes back, but you're also bending further forwards into that front leg. Arms in front of you, and then wrap your right arm underneath your left arm and hug around your opposite shoulders. Try and get the elbows to pass by each other. And if you've managed that, you could take the forearms and wrap them around one another for eagle arms. So either a hug or eagle arms. Keep your gaze nice and steady. Try and follow the verbal cues so that you can keep your gaze steady and it helps you to balance. A few little balancing things this evening. Your right hand's going to come down to the floor. Left arm opens up toward the ceiling. Keep bending into the left knee. Keep pushing firmly through the back leg, so the back thigh bone is pressing to the back of the thigh. And then bring your left hand around behind towards your right hip, to the outer hip, and roll the left shoulder open more. So left hand to right hip and roll the left shoulder open. Keep the contact of your left foot nice and confident, inner and outer edge of the ball and heel of the foot. As you return your hand down to the floor, step back to a plank position, and then lower both knees directly under your hips. 3 cat-cows. Inhale, stretch your front body, so your head and your bottom lift. Exhale, stretch your back body, so your head and your bottom tuck. 2 more. Inhale, head and bottom lift. Exhale, the tuck. 1 more time. Okay, and then a flat back. Take your right hand off the floor and step your right foot where your right hand was. Come up to a kneeling position on the left knee, right foot in front. And if you need any padding underneath your knee, I might just grab my socks. Put some padding underneath that back knee. Okay, and then take your right hand onto your right thigh, left arm up in the air, and stretch long from your left knee all the way up through your left arm. Then drop your left hand between the shoulder blades, catch your elbow with your right hand. Lunge a little more into your right leg. You might walk the right foot further forwards the more you lunge forwards. Keep pushing your left elbow up into your right hand and then take a little side bend toward the right as your left elbow pushes up and over. Come back up to center and then bring both hands down to the floor. You're going to tuck under your left toes, straighten your left leg out behind. Find your balance in your legs and bring your arms directly out in front of you. So have confidence and trust in your right foot. Be even through the inner and outer edge. And just tap your left toes forwards on the floor as you step forwards. Then lift your left knee, find your balance. Remember the twist you did lying down. You're now going to do that standing. So right hand holds left knee, left arm comes out behind. And then straighten your standing leg more, thigh bone pressing to the back of the leg. Turning your chest. When you come back to center, bring your hands onto your hips, keep your balance. And carefully return that foot to the floor, looking down and checking they land level with each other. Arms go up as you inhale, press down into the feet. Hands into a prayer position, bend your knees. Engage the muscles of your legs, slight squeeze in your sit bones. Arms in front, hips a little further back. And then fold forwards over the legs, hands around the back of your legs, press your legs into your hands and draw your body into the legs. Fingers to the floor, step your left leg back this time, keep the heel off the ground, take your arms all the way up. In your high lunge, lift and lower the back heel so it goes up, pushing through the ball of the foot and then pressing back. Pushing the heel up, pushing the heel back. 1 more, heel up, heel back, and then you want to go back, but then just come in a little more with the heel so that there's some rebound through the action. Bending nice and deep into your front leg so the knee's in line with your ankle. Arms in front of you, left arm under right arm, wrap your arms around, hold onto your opposite shoulders. And if the elbows have gone past each other, you could try eagle arms, wrapping your forearms around one another. Take another steadying breath, helping you with your balance. Then the left hand comes to the floor, right arm up in the air. If you need a bit of a longer stride, wriggle the left foot back a bit more. As you lift your right arm, turn your chest. And we're going to take the right hand behind to the left hip. The palm will be facing outwards and your right shoulder can roll open a bit more. So it's like your right shoulder is trying to stack more on top of your left shoulder. Keep squeezing your right hip in and firming your back leg. Both hands down to the floor, step to plank position. Both knees under your hips. 3 cat-cow. Inhale, head and bottom rise. Exhale, head and bottom tuck. Inhale, where there's the dip in the spine, it's the cow. Exhale, when you round your spine to the ceiling, it's the cat stretch. One more. Neutral spine. Lift your left hand, step your left foot there. Have the right knee if you need to. And come up. Left hand on left thigh for a bit of balance. To begin with, right arm up in the air. Push from your right knee, get long through your right side. Actively try and make that right side nice and long from knee to fingertips. Maybe wriggle your left foot forwards a bit and lunge a bit further forwards. Drop your right hand between the shoulder blades and try holding the elbow with your left hand. Push your right elbow up into your left hand. And then if you can add this little balancy side bend, lean toward the left. Keep the chest up. Come back into center. Bring your arms down. Lift your back knee. Take your arms out in front of you. Okay, so we're coming into a balance on the left foot. So first of all, mentally put your faith, your trust into your left foot balance. Tap your right toes forwards. Find your balance there. Lift the right knee and twist. Left hand holding right knee. As you turn, right arm opens out. And then often there's a bend in our standing leg. See if you can press your standing leg straighter. Get straighter and taller through your spine, right up to the top of your head. Both hands on your hips as you come to center. Find your balance. Engage your core a little. And then place your foot down to the floor. Step out so you're on the long line of your mat. Turn your toes slightly outwards. Hands on your inner thighs and bend down into the knees. So your knees are about in line with your ankles, and use your hands to press the knees open. And at the same time as pressing your knees open, press your shoulders back. Hold a couple more breaths, sinking down to the hips. We don't need to go any lower than the knees, just in case you were going to. And then straighten your legs out. So triangle. We'll use a block. So if you turn your left, don't worry if you haven't got one, turn your left heel a bit wider than your left toes and turn your right foot so it's perfectly pointing to the short end of your mat. Take a tiny bend in your right knee and slide your right hand down the inside of the leg. So this is where if you're using a block, you're going to have the block on the inside edge of your foot and place your hand down on the block. If you haven't got a block, put your hand on the ankle or shin bone and then start to press your hips away from the right foot. So your hips are trying to pull away from your right foot. I've got my left hand on my left hip, so I can feel my hips are trying to pull toward the left hand. Then start to rotate your torso, left shoulder rolling back, look up and extend your arm up. Engage both legs so that if your hand wasn't resting on something, your legs could support you. Engaging from the feet up to your knees up through your thighs into your pelvis, and then let that explode out into your spine and your core. Look down, bring your hand back to your hip, keep hold of your block as you come up and turn the feet the other way. So your right hip heel goes a bit wider than your right toes. Look at your left foot, make sure it's perfectly pointing out. Bend a little into your left knee, slide your left hand down the inside of the leg. You either go for the ankle or you put the block down for your hand to rest on. Right hand on right hip, start to pull your hips toward the right hand away from the left foot until the left leg straightens. Then roll your hip open more, turn your chest, look up, roll the right shoulder back a bit more, then float your arm. And again, feel some strength from your feet, pulling up through the shins to your knees. Knees engaging up through the thighs as they try and turn the pelvis so it's really wide at the front of your pelvis. Breathe into the length of your spine, into the openness of your chest. And then look down, right hand back to right hip, a little bend in the knee. Bring the block with you as you come up. Turn both feet so that they point perfectly forwards to the long edge of your mat. Keep the block in your hands. Soften your knees a tiny amount. Place the block down to the floor. Some of you might not need a block. Straighten your legs out so your arms and your legs are straight and your back is flat. And then start to bend your elbows. And if you need to lose the block, you can lose the block. Placing your hands flatter to the block and walking the hands back a little for those more flexible people. Continue to feel your feet engaging up through the lower legs, knees to the thighs so that they're helping to keep the thigh bones central and not turning inwards. Then come halfway up, walk your hands around to, well, I'm going to go to the right foot, but you could go to the left if you wanted to, and step to plank position. Okay, feel the connection from your heels all the way through your legs, all the way through your core, to your shoulders, to the top of your head. Make a nice long strong line. And then bend your arms, lower your planks slowly down to the floor. You can do cat-cow as an alternative, otherwise we're going to lift and lower 3 times. Inhale to cobra, lifting 1. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift cobra 2. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift cobra 3. Exhale, lower. And rest your head on both hands. And then crocodile pose, take your feet wide on the mat, turn your toes slightly outwards. So I'm going to do a pigeon pose this evening, so bring your legs in. Press into your hands as if you're about to lift a cobra, so you kind of lift up a little bit and then lift your hips. Bring your right leg underneath, so your right shin bone is diagonal across the mat. Shift the left leg back. If you want to grab your bolster for this, then you can, and you can use your bolster in several ways. You can have it so that it goes underneath the hips and your pigeon is supported up high. Or you can have it in front so that you can rest down on your bolster. There's other ways I'm sure you could find and be creative. We'll stay here for 3 minutes. And if you want to turn your head, that's fine, but remember, and then when we do the other side, you can turn your head the other way. What type of resistance you might hold on to? Is it that you've got physical resistance? And if so, try and locate where that is and see if you can just direct your breath as the healing tool to try and soften it. Not that it's going to eradicate it, but just so that it softens it, gives it some space, gives it some opportunity to release. If your resistance is more mental in nature and your mind is battling with you in these poses, And do the same thing. Use your breath as the healing tool for your mind. Breathe to the resistance you might find. If you're breathing to the mental layers or mental barriers. And your breath has this ability to dissolve away the resistance. Follow your breath. Now we're coming up from that first side, so make your way up towards straight arms. And push as if you're coming into plank position. And then lower your knees to the floor. And just take a slow sit back towards child's pose, a nice slow sit back. Rest your head on your hands. It helps to neutralize the right knee. It helps to even the right and left sides. We're going from asymmetrical to symmetrical. And then ready for the other side. So forwards again. The left leg comes under. Arrange the angle of the shin according to how it feels in your hips and your knee. We want to try and keep the hips squarish. I keep my back toes tucked. You don't have to. It's for my knee. So the back leg can be relaxed, foot can be pointed. And often we're quite dominant in one side of the body more than the other. So it's very possible that one side feels a lot more resistance, or the shape is a bit different on one side to the other. And we want to be okay with that, because there's probably more limitations in one side than the other side. Get your pelvis get heavier, your belly and your back softer. And keep working your way in deeper when it relaxes, when you get a little window of opportunity to move in. Notice how unhurried this style of yin is. Embrace that slowness. Modern day life often requires us just to be in that forward mode, drive mode all the time. And we are now, but we're really dropping down into slow drive, almost standstill. Always movement of some sort. Notice the more subtle movements within you. Okay, and then we're coming back up to straight arms. And again, pressing like you're doing plank. And just come onto both knees. Take your time going back into child's pose. Rest your head on your hands, make sure shoulders are relaxed. This next one, there's quite a few alternatives for you. So come to kneeling as your first point. have your bolster behind you, and you can even have your bolster on an incline with a block underneath, or you could have a block for your head. If you've got a sofa or something handy and you're quite tight in your kneeling position, you could sit on your block, and we're going to lean back. So if you know what you're doing with this, go ahead and go into it whenever you're ready. If you want to be a bit softer in the knees, sit up on a block and lean back against something like a wall or a sofa, and you can pull a cushion in for underneath your head so your head is supported. Try and keep the thigh bones long, opening into the front of the thighs, the hip flexors. For those going for a deeper option, if you're sitting on your heels or even between your heels, you can go back onto your bolster with or without extra support for your head. If that feels like you're getting nothing from it, then you can go all the way down flat to the floor, as long as it doesn't become a strain and a pinch in your back or knees. Forgot to say, if there's anyone who needs a no kneeling version, so a more knee-friendly version, then you could have the same position but the soles of your feet together, or even your legs straight, and then you still get a bit of a back bend, and we're still getting into the hip flexors in a different direction. Couple more minutes. Explore different positions for your arms so that you can get a little bit of opening across your chest, perhaps. Notice behind your closed eyes how open you are, how open your awareness is when you open up your body. Often that's reflected in an openness in your experience. Lending itself to this feeling of expansion. Okay, and then bring your arms in. If you need to help your head up first, you can use your hands to lift your head, and then use your elbows, arms to press your way up. Come to hands and knees, so you're taking the weight out of your kneeling position. Stretch one leg back and just roll back and forwards through the ball of the foot, stretching out the heel. Don't make it too aggressive. No aggression. Just a gentle, kind awareness as you move. Switch to the other leg. Both knees come in, turn around onto your back. And we're going to take, you can have a block for your head if you want, but you're going to take the bolster underneath the back of your knees. Lie down, feet onto the bolster, take a pause. Have your feet wide on your bolster. If you've not got a bolster, you can put a foot on two blocks, or you can just put your feet on the floor. Press straight down into your bolster so it doesn't roll away. Roll your hips up and come into the same bridge we did at the beginning. Not trying to force your bottom up, but now roll more under with your arms and over the back of your shoulders. Naturally angling the ribcage up a bit more, but keep the lower back soft. Don't worry, we're not holding this as the yin pose. Another breath. Your arms and shoulders go a bit wider again so you can roll down. And pause with your feet still on the bolster. Take your legs straight up in the air. If you struggle to keep your legs in the air, what you could do is get your block, put it under your bottom, and put your legs straight up in the air with your bottom on a block. In fact, I'm going to do that because it feels lovely. If you want a little bit more in the hamstrings, keep your bottom on the floor. And I'd just like you to let your legs just very slightly rock back, like they're going more in the direction of your head. A little bit of length in the back of your legs. Again, we're not holding this as a yin pose, just our closing poses. Then bring your knees for a very light squeeze to your chest. Feet back onto the bolster. And then let your legs drape. If you've got the block under your bottom, take it out. Let your legs drape over your bolster. Heels are on the floor, bottom's on the floor. Relax. Jiggle a little so the back of your pelvis, your sacrum in particular, can feel wide. And that the back of your shoulders can feel wide, and let your arms fall wide. Tuck the chin so the back of the neck is long. Let everything feel like it's positioned so that there is the most space you can lie with comfortably, the least resistance or tightness. Bring your feet back onto your bolster. Push the bolster away. Turn to your side and make your way up to sitting. Hands come to prayer position. Bow to your breath. The breath being something that can really indicate to us how we are. how we're feeling, what our state of mind is, what our physical state is. So notice the quality of your breath as a reflection of the quality of your well-being. Breathe well to be well. With gratitude to our breath and to all other things that keep and sustain us and nourish us. Namaste. Thank you all.